What up, nerds, and welcome back to another episode of Fucked Up Intersections of Pennsylvania. And I'm your host, Jerry Johnson. Now, a popular question is, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, in this case, it was the fucking railroad. Today we're talking about an intersection that I've had beef with for years. I've not liked driving through this intersection for a long time. It confused me, it would piss me off. So this is High Street and 3rd Street of Hanover Borough. A lot of people here drive more defensively than aggressively, except for driving through this intersection. We'll start off with the main problem here is that there's a set of train tracks going through this intersection. And what that does is it splits it up in a really dumb way. However, the railroad was there first. The Hanover Railroad Extension, or the Hanover Extension Railroad, or the Hanover something or other, basically the railroad for Hanover, was built in the 1850s. It was built long before anything else, before we had stop signs and paved roads and all that crap. We had the railroad coming through here. So the railroad was used to move iron ore from Gettysburg through Hanover onto York, and then also down to Baltimore to get turned into other stuff. And the railroad was actually really important during the Civil War. And I could go on a deep dive about this and the importance of it, but that's not what we're talking about today. I want to talk about this fucked up intersection. So a lot of the neighborhood around here was built between the 1900s and the 1930s, and you see different types of structures. You'll see the Pennsylvania German style home, I think they call it the Pennsylvania traditional home, or the Pennsylvania German traditional home. It's just kind of a colonial box with 2 chimneys on each end, and that's kind of like a normal, almost like a German structure, but it's just what the German immigrants built here. And you see those houses all over York County and Adams County and anywhere around this area. It's really a common structure. So anyway, you'll see those houses, you'll see duplexes, you'll see some row homes, but not a lot of them. But a lot of this area was built between the 1900s and the 1930s. So because of that, they had to split 3rd Street. I don't know if it was actually two-way roads at some point, but anyway, they split 3rd Street up, and they split it really kind of dumb, but I guess it was necessary at the time. But it's only split from Route 94 or Carlisle Pike down to this intersection at High Street. And there it merges and then goes on as a regular 2-way road. High Street is a regular 2-way road. But when you get to this intersection, there are 6 stop signs. And it's so fucking difficult to drive through. It just pisses me off. I decided that I didn't want to drive up all the stoplights one day. So I was like, I'm going to take it back road. I'm going to take High Street through here and then drive past the Utz factory. Utz is a snack manufacturing plant. They really focus on potato chips. And they make potato chips not only for themselves, but also wrap snacks and the voodoo chips and other manufacturers. I guess you can just lease the factory to have them make chips for you. Anyway, the first time I drove through here, I was like, what the fuck happened here? This intersection is really dumb looking. And then on the way back, I didn't realize that there was even one of the stop signs there, and I ran that stop sign for 4 years. Now, luckily, it's literally a stop, and then you make a right turn, there's another stop. So that's fine. If you're heading south on High Street, you come to a stop sign, or stop line, then you make a right, and right before the railroad, there's another stop line. You have the stop there. And then you cross the railroad tracks and you come to another stop line. And then if you want to make a left to continue on High Street, that's really, if you're going that way, that's the only way you're turning. You don't have a choice. You have to wait. And it's a 35 mile per hour zone, but I swear people drive much faster through here. I usually have people tailgating me on this section of road for some reason. And it's really annoying. But also, it makes it really hard to leave. I would say that rush hour in town is right around 4 o'clock, and it just makes navigating this little dumb intersection really stupid. Heaven forbid some truck driver decides to get the bright idea that he's not going to go all the way down to the center, intersection in town. He's going to take a shortcut through 3rd Street. It really fucking mangles the intersection up. It really, really does a fucking number on this intersection. Hey, get out of here. 3rd Street is a one-way, and it's kind of narrow. And they'll have a 18-wheeler coming down through here and then trying to stop and then cut across and navigate it makes for a very unpleasant experience trying to drive through here. I've seen trucks trying to do all sorts of things to navigate this intersection, and it's awful. I've never seen any UTS trucks come down this way. They usually head out to 94 and then come down if they're heading south for some reason, like if they're going to the main factory or something. Anyway, UTS uses these little weird, like, half cab 18-wheeler trucks. I guess they're technically not 18-wheelers, they would be 12-wheeled. And that's how they move stuff all through town. Like, they just use these little weird trucks. This intersection was built, I'm assuming, after the railroad, but also before we had motorized transportation. It really makes navigating this intersection really a debacle. Like, every time you go through there, it's stress. I can, pull up messages from people and people complaining about it. There was a thread on a local Facebook group, people asking how to navigate this intersection. And I was like, just drive through it. I don't know what to tell you. Just drive. I feel like there is a lack of driver education or driver training, that you will encounter some of these really weird intersections in PA and people will just have no idea how to navigate it. I mean, I grew up in Maryland. It's not like our driving program is much better. The first time I ended up at this intersection, I was like, wow, this is fucked up, but I got through it. And this isn't even a situation where like red lights or a traffic circle would help. This is just a bad intersection. I will say one of the things I hate about this intersection is if you're coming on 3rd Street, which 3rd Street leads to a little tiny area called McSherrystown, and it goes on to Littlestown. If you're traveling southeast on 3rd Street and you decide to bear to the right and keep driving, you end up on High Street. That's fine. But there's one of those stupid stop except for right-hand turn signs there. It just fucks people up. If you want to stay going on to 3rd Street, you have to make a left basically and then sit at the stop sign. But some people don't know that, or they assume that they're going to just be driving straight. They've just been doing it their whole lives, so they're going to keep doing it. There's not much you can do to fix it now. Anyway, there's 6 stop signs, 2 one-ways, a set of train tracks, and everything here is old as shit. Like the youngest house right here at this intersection is almost 100 years old. The train tracks are 170 years old through here. And yeah, people still don't know how to navigate it because generationally they've been doing it wrong. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about that today. If you have a suggestion for an intersection for me to come check out, let me know. I'll see if I can come look at it. And like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe. And if you want me to talk about the Hanover Railroad extension, I can. I'll even go chase it out because part of it got abandoned at some point. And I'll see if I can pull up vintage aerial photos of it. It pretty much ends at one of the businesses in town. But you can still follow it onto Littlestown. So it's kind of interesting. Thanks for watching. If you like stuff like this, do what you can. If you like car videos, check out my other channel. If you like music and kind of camera videos, I have another channel, but I haven't done anything with it in a minute because I don't know what to do. So anyway, thanks for watching. Now we're on 3rd Street. I'm making all the way across the High Street. I can't. I didn't have to hit another stop sign. But there were 2 other stop signs right there. This actually are, they kind of terminate after one of the businesses back here. But there's, if you look on a map, you can actually follow them all the way to the next town, which is Littlestown.